Alright guys, we're back, and basically you put the items in. You want to be careful with certain items because if it's like a finger or if it's fragile hair, you kind of don't want to pile in like I'm doing with these. But these items are not that as fragile. I know what I'm going to do, so it's going to work out. These rogues do have magnets. Now acetone could eat the glue. That is a possibility. And the magnets could fall out. I've had it happen a couple times, but for this specific rogues that I'm doing, only one of them's being repainted, the other ones are being customized, and basically the magnets don't matter. So we don't have to worry about that. So I got my gloves on, doubled them up, got my toothbrush and the acetone. Now I've used this acetone a bunch of times, so it's going to look ugly as hell, but it doesn't matter. So just pour that all in. And you can see why it's splashing. And you basically I'm submerging it. And it just really works pretty fast. Doesn't eat through the metal or the foil, whatever you want to call it. You know, you kind of start seeing a little bit of it coming out. And you see really some nasty stuff at the bottom. But basically, you take your toothbrush, get it in there. Some items might have a lot of primer on it. And of course, you gotta kind of let it sit a little bit. Now, of course, this rogue doesn't really seem to have a lot of primer on it. But, I mean, you get your hands in here. Brush them up a little bit. And the reason why you're wearing the glasses is because if you are dealing with the toothbrush and you're not careful, it will sprit in your eyes and go all over the place. But gives you an idea of how it's working. Like here's another item, a leg. Kind of just chuck that in there, get that going. I think the other method that people use is the Castrol degreaser. You put in a Ziploc bag and you walk away for 20 minutes. That works as well, but I sort of like doing it this way. So I can do a bunch at a time. See, magnets. And that is cold. But not that big of a deal. As you can see here, this comes off pretty fast. And it is mushy in your hands. This has some primer on it a little bit, not much. You know. See, certain companies, certain paints come off real easy, some don't. Some stain the resin with this, but that's not a big deal. As long as you're getting everything off. Because some companies will paint really, really thick and you lose detail. And that's what I hate. Hate working on an item and you're losing all the detail because there's so much primer on it. Edges around here really starting to come off. Just really start to see the resin after a little while. Like I said, this isn't really safe. You want to be in a well-ventilated area. You don't want to do this inside. Stuff is flammable. But once it's all said and done, nice clean resin. Yeah, you can use your hand a little bit. Come off real quick. Once it soaks in there. Sometimes I do have a container with soapy water next to me and I'll drop it in there because it's so damn cold in this garage at the moment. I'm just going to freeze my hands, so what I'll do is I'll take this inside after it's a little bit dried up and wash them up. So as you can see, this one's pretty much cleaned up, looking good. Basically where I want it. Perfect, not really, but gets there. And you just throw that over there. Toothbrush helps when you get into the facial features because there's some cases of you get the paint stuck in the ear, the eyes, the nose, and all that stuff. So what we do is turn her over. Just pretty much take all this off. This leg is pretty much done. A little bit of resin, under here. That's okay. So you pretty much get a nice clean resin piece. Let that dry up. The cheaper the toothbrush, the faster it will melt in the resin. In the acetone. I've had some cheap toothbrushes where I put it in there and it came out, had no bristles on it, but your Oral-B's, your stuff, the really good ones, they're going to work out pretty good. If you are a fan of the Castrol way, you can try it. I know there's a couple places on statueforum.com where they actually have, posted pictures. I know GarageKits.us has posted walkthroughs on it. It's all about preference. It's what you like. If you're worried about, the chemicals, like this, being too strong and you're sensitive, yeah, you could stay away. I just like to plow through stuff. Because it's not like I'm stripping one statue a week. Sometimes I'm stripping, 5 or 6. And I just hate waiting. I stumbled upon this by trial and error. I've used some really nasty chemicals back in the day. I did destroy some statues, but, it's worked out the best. Now the latex gloves are still holding up pretty good. If you use the plastic or if you use like dishwashing, those yellow gloves, they will just melt on you. Stay away from those. And just make sure you protect your eyes at all times with this. And you don't want to do this in closed area. But as you can see, she's really starting to come off. Acetone does kind of evaporate a lot, so there's a little piece on her foot that came off, but that's alright. For my projects and the way I'm working this, it's all okay. Here, these are coming out pretty good. And you do get some staining on it, but that's, even though it looks like it's bad, it's still rare, because once you do a nice fine sanding on it, it's gone. Ooh, that's cold. Good lord. And of course, the more fragile stuff you want to be careful. I know there's some more pieces in there. Maybe not. Can I get them all? Oh, wow, there's one. Ooh, chilly. Good lord. Hand is pretty much frozen right now. Ain't gonna lie to you. And by doing this, I am getting some spritz around here. If you are in a bad area, you might want to wear a mask for the fumes. That's okay too. But once it soaks in here pretty well, comes off. Now I think these legs are glued in here. you kind of start seeing where they did glue some stuff. Bigger the piece, the smaller containers also a pain, but I guess you just can't be afraid to get dirty. If you're a little bit worried, then try other ways. This is just my method. This is what I like. I'm not saying you have to, but pretty much get a nice bare resin piece. A little stained and perfect, no, but you know, and then you got other pieces like other companies like here. I bet you this one will have a lot of primer on it. So we'll just show you how that works out. But it starts coming off right away, as you can see. As you can see, there's a lot of white on him. Oh, it's frozen. Woo! I'm just going a little bit faster just to show you guys how thick the primer is on that one. So you can start to see it's a gray resin. And that's a lot of primer on this piece. And because of that, you lose a lot of detail. But so as you can see. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. I'm going to do the rest of these pieces, and then afterwards we'll come back and we'll show you where I'm at.